If you feel exhausted but you can't explain why, I mean, you didn't do that much today. You weren't running around and yet you're completely drained. This isn't laziness. It's something I call quiet burnout. And most high functioning professionals don't realize they're in it until they're already exhausted. Hello, driven professionals, and welcome back to the channel where we protect your peace and master your work life. This video explains what quiet burnout is, the signs most people miss, why it drains you on easy days, and how to tell if you need a rest or reset. All right, ambitious professionals, I know that you always give your 100%, so let's do this. To understand quiet burnout, we have to stop looking at how busy you are and start looking at what you're carrying. So let's talk about what is quiet burnout. So quiet burnout is a form of exhaustion that doesn't come from doing too much. It comes from carrying too much internally. It's the mental load of staying composed, the emotional labor of being professional, the constant self-monitoring. You know how you sound, how you're viewed or seen by others, whether you're doing enough. So even when your calendar looks light, your nervous system hasn't had a real break. That's why quiet burnout feels confusing. On the outside, your day looks normal, but on the inside, you're depleted. Quiet burnout isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It just slowly drains you. Why is quiet burnout so hard to spot? The reason quiet burnout lasts so long is simple. Most people don't recognize it as burnout at all. You see, quiet burnout is hard to spot because you're still functioning. You're showing up. You're doing what's expected. Nothing is obviously falling apart. From the outside, your life looks fine. But burnout isn't always about visible breakdowns. Another reason it's so hard to recognize is because the exhaustion is invisible. You're not physically running around all day. You're regulating your emotions, managing your reactions, and constantly thinking about what needs to happen next. And then there's the most damaging part. You keep invalidating yourself. You tell yourself things like, I didn't even do that much today. Other people are handling more than this. Why am I tired when nothing happened? So instead of addressing the burnout, you push yourself harder or you shame yourself for needing rest. That's how quiet burnout stays quiet. It convinces you it doesn't count. If you only recognize burnout when everything collapses, quiet burnout will always slip under the radar. So let's talk about the signs of quiet burnout. Quiet burnout shows up in small, easy to dismiss ways. So let me walk you through the signs most people overlook. Sign number one, rest doesn't always restore you. The first sign is that you rest, but you don't feel restored. You sleep, you take a day off, you scroll your phone, you relax, and somehow you still feel drained. That's because this isn't physical exhaustion, it's emotional and mental fatigue. Sign number two, small tasks feel heavier than they should. Sending an email, starting something simple, making a decision you've made 100 times before. You're not avoiding the task, you're avoiding the energy cost of doing it. You're emotionally flat or easily irritated. So at this time, you're not deeply sad, but you're not excited either. Or you find yourself snapping at small things, not because they're big, but because your emotional bandwidth is gone. Sign number four, you procrastinate things you actually care about. This one confuses a lot of people. You start procrastinating about things you care about, not because you don't want them, but because you don't have the emotional capacity to engage with them. You see, when burnout is quiet, procrastination isn't laziness, it's self-protection. Sign number five, You feel guilty for being tired. And one of the clearest signs of quiet burnout is feeling guilty for being tired. You tell yourself you shouldn't feel this way, that you didn't earn rest. The other people are doing more. But guilt doesn't come from laziness, it comes from chronic self pressure. Now, if several of these feel uncomfortably familiar, that's not a coincidence. It's your system telling you something needs to change. So, why does quiet burnout happen? Quiet burnout doesn't come from doing too much, it comes from how much pressure you carry without realizing it. It usually builds when your external workload looks manageable, but your internal load never shuts off. You're constantly anticipating, thinking ahead, mentally rehearsing conversations, monitoring how you come across. Even when nothing urgent is happening, your nervous system stays on alert. Another major cause is emotional overfunctioning. You're the one who keeps things smooth. You manage the tone. You absorb the tension. You stay professional no matter how you actually feel. Over time, that level of emotional regulation becomes exhausting, not because it's dramatic, but because it's constant. Quiet burnout also happens when there's no psychological end to your day. You may stop working, but you don't stop thinking. Your body never gets the signal that it's safe to power down. So the exhaustion doesn't come from effort alone, it comes from never fully disengaging. Do you need rest or do you need a reset? You see, rest helps when you're physically tired. A reset is needed when you're emotionally and mentally overloaded. Here's how to tell the difference. If rest works, you feel noticeably better after sleeping, unplugging, or taking time off. Your energy comes back, your patience returns, you feel more like yourself. But if you rest and still feel heavy, foggy, or irritable, that's not a failure of rest. That's a signal you need a reset. A reset isn't about doing less, it's about changing what you're carrying. It means releasing emotional responsibility that isn't yours, creating real psychological closure to your day, and giving your nervous system proof that it's allowed to shut down or power down. When quiet burnout is present, more rest without a reset just keeps you stuck because you return to the same internal pressure that drained you in the first place. Rest helps you recover. A reset helps you stop burning out in the first place. Now, if you're realizing your energy dips the hardest in the afternoon, I have another video where I walk through 3 quick ways to reset your energy at 2 p.m. No coffee required. The link is in the description below. Do you think you need rest or reset? I'd love to hear your comments. If this video names something you've been feeling, I want you to know nothing is wrong with you. Quiet burnout doesn't mean you're lazy or failing. It means you've been carrying more internally than you've been acknowledging. Burnout isn't always loud. Sometimes it shows up as exhaustion that doesn't make sense until you finally understand it. Awareness is the real reset. And if you're here, you've already started. Until the next time, keep growing. My dear ambitious professionals, take care. Until the next video.